What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by Geekdom 101 and Kwamen for another Dragon Ball Super discussion, and today we're focusing on the Z Warriors. Now, I've actually seen a lot of people discuss this on Twitter, YouTube channels, Reddit, everywhere, about the focus of Dragon Ball Super. And at this point, and from seeing Resurrection F and Battle Gods, we know that the main focus is really going to be around Goku and Vegeta. With Battle Gods introduce Goku as a god, and then Resurrection F takes it to another level and adds Vegeta into the same club, and both of them are kind of like the main people who fight Frieza in that movie. We briefly see the Z Warriors as well in Battle Gods get wrecked by Beerus, and then again we see them fight the Frieza soldiers, but outside of that, there's just not really much focus on them anymore. And if you look back in the Dragon Ball Z days, they all kind of had a lot of focus. Like there was a point where Piccolo was the strongest and he fought the androids. We saw Gohan destroy Cell, and we saw even people like Krillin and Gohan in the Saiyan Saga fighting against Vegeta and Nappa. So it's like now that we're in Dragon Ball Super and Goku and Vegeta to the point where they're so freaking powerful, are we past the other characters? Like, are we ever going to see Gohan go crazy and recreate another Cell moment or even a Super Buu moment? Are we ever going to see Tien, really step it up and try to fight someone like he did with Cell? And are we going to see Yamcha, the God of Destruction, become the God of Destruction? That's many questions that we can't answer right now. But I brought a Geekdom and Kwamen onto this video because we want to discuss our thoughts and then see from the fans of these other characters how you guys feel about it. So at any point in this video, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. Number one, stating who your favorite character is if it's not Goku or Vegeta, and how you feel about the potential opportunity of knowing they will not have a major role and throughout the series, and how you feel about that. So why don't we start with Geekdom? How do you feel about what I just said?
Well, everything you said is a very well-educated guess based upon what we've gotten, not only with Resurrection F, because that's a big point right there, but also if you look at all the promotional material that's come out in the past month with Dragon Ball Super, we're talking about the different toys that have come out, the calendar, everything on this material is pretty much about 4, 5, or 6 characters. Goku, Vegeta are in each and every one of them, Beerus, Whis, and then sometimes you'll get Champa and Golden Frieza. So that pretty much tells you the direction they're going to go. Goku and Vegeta with their blue hair are on everything. Therefore, that's who they're pushing. That's who Super... I'm pretty sure that's what Super's about. We talked about it a little bit on that Vegeta video that we did about the possibility of them kind of fusing. And really, in order for them to fuse, it would have to be that they stick together. For me, I think you're right. I think that the other characters will have very minor roles, whether it be comic relief or fighting off like Frieza's men, like in Resurrection F. Also, as far as like specifically Piccolo and Gohan goes, I think based entirely on Dragon Ball Super Episode 1 when Gohan's walking out of the bookstore with Videl and Piccolo's like looking at him, I think what we're going to get is, we're going to get the story being that Piccolo wants Gohan to stay a warrior, but Videl wants Gohan to be a father, so I think there's going to be that tug-of-war between what he should do. And of course, at the end of the day, he's going to pick being a father and being a scholar over being a warrior. I think that might be a subplot that they go into, but we haven't seen any development of that yet. But it's just something I picked up from Episode 1. So yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't think we're going to get a lot of shine from the side characters, especially not against the major villain. I just don't see it happening in Super.
Right. Can I ask you, who's your favorite Z fighter?
Mine? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I would say Roshi, but does he count?
Technically.
He fought in Resurrection F, so he is my favorite. He's my favorite.
Okay. Well, we know he's probably going to fight in Resurrection F in that version of the battle against the soldiers, which I wonder how they're going to do that, but I guess we'll cross that point when we get there. But Kwamen is a big Piccolo fan, we know this, and all jokes aside, I want to know how Kwamen feels based on everything that we just said. Like, if Piccolo was basically past the point where he was like this amazing character, like when he fused with Kami and just came back and started destroying Android 17 to the point where now he's rocking the cradle for Pan. Kwamen, how do you feel about that?
Who, me?
You.
Well, the thing is, all right, I have a lot to say, and I know you saved me for last, on purpose. The funny thing is with Piccolo specifically, I've never really been very impressed with him, even since Dragon Ball, and I've kind of talked to Geekdom about this, and I've always felt that Dragon Ball was all about the Z fighters. Dragon Ball Z was all about the Saiyans, including Piccolo all the way up to the Android Saga.
Well, remember, they weren't Z fighters before Z.
Well, I'm still considering Z fighters, but the main cast, like the
The Dragon Team.
The Dragon Team, whatever the hell you want to call them. It was all about them in Dragon Ball, and then Z was all about the Saiyans, with Piccolo all the way up to the Android Saga, and then with the Buu Saga, Piccolo just basically became a teacher, and then it was all about just, you know, purely about the Saiyans at that point. And then GT, let's not talk about how they killed him for no reason. So, when you look at it from that perspective, Piccolo's kind of had a reduction in the role, and I don't feel like he's going to get a big amount of time. And I actually recently made a predictions video where I talked about Dragon Ball Super, and I feel like it's going to go in the direction of Digimon Season 4. And for those of you who don't know, Digimon Season 4, which was called Digimon Frontier, that was essentially when the humans turned into the Digimon. That's actually my personally favorite season. But in that season, there are two characters, Takuya and Koji, who were basically at some point so much stronger than the rest of their friends that
it was just focused on them.
Right, they just kind of just made Takuya and Koji stronger, like they really had no power for themselves, and I feel that's kind of the direction that Dragon Ball Super is going to, because when you start talking about gods, it's going to be kind of hard to think that, you know, Goten and Trunks are going to do anything, and that's what made the Buu Saga interesting, because the Buu Saga was interesting because it made, like, Goku not as strong as you would think he is, and Vegeta as well. And Gohan needed Ultimate to become Ultimate Gohan. Gohan the strongest warrior, whatever you want to call him. And then Gotenks needed to fuse. So it kind of forced people to have a bigger role. And at least Piccolo could train Goten and Trunks on how to fuse.
Which still kind of made him a major character, though. Like, even though Piccolo had become a trainer-esque type of person at that point, he was still very important to the story. But what I'm trying to say is, right now, the only focus that we seem to be going into is where it's all about Goku and Vegeta, and everybody else is just kind of left on the side as a side character or comic relief, and they're just kind of there. That's kind of like what I'm trying to point out.
And a lot of our peers, like Dr. Love, you know, they've talked about in the past, you know, Gohan maybe getting another push. I just don't see it happening. The way I see it, yeah, man, all the material, every single thing we've seen promotion-wise. Remember, Toei and Bandai Namco, they know what they're doing as far as marketing goes. There's other things they might, you know, whatever. We're not going to talk about that here, but they know what they're doing as far as merchandise goes, because people might not know, but in Japan, the ratings of the show, and I talked about this on a different video I did way back, the ratings of Dragon Ball Super are not as important as the merchandise sales that come from Dragon Ball Super. That's how the anime community works over there, the anime business. So when you see them pushing Goku, Vegeta, and also Beerus and Whis, I'm pretty sure that, and people might not like this, but I'm pretty sure Beerus and Whis are going to be the replacements for Piccolo, Gohan, and everybody else. That's who we're going to see work with them.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I love Beerus. I mean, I'm not, you know,
me too,
angry about that. He's like my favorite character. But at the same time, Gohan needs to be my favorite character at some point. Even Ultimate Gohan was awesome. Like, when he came up against Super Buu, nah, I'm here to kill you. Like, that was so badass. Yeah. And to kind of like think about the fact that we won't see, well, we most likely won't see something like that. I don't know. It's just an interesting way to think about it.
But I mean, Toriyama's always done that. I mean, at one point, Yamcha was actually relevant, you know, and same thing with Ten Shinhan. And as we progressed in the series, like Kwame said, they added in Goten and Trunks. They replaced them, and now we're going to get them replaced. It's just that's how they do it.
Well, you know, Kwame's a really interesting thing to bring up, too, how it went from the Z Warriors to Saiyans. That progress. I never actually thought of it that way. That's a really good thing to bring up.
The thing I was also going to point out is that, I mean, there were also a lot of characters in Dragon Ball who were not fighters that had a pretty good role. But what I feel is kind of weird is that this is kind of also following GT, because if you really think about it, I always call Dragon Ball GT Dragon Ball Goku's time, because it was basically all about Goku. With the exception of Vegeta, considering the fact that Vegeta technically was a major villain from one of the earlier arcs in the Baby Saga, and then he could go Super Saiyan 4.
It was about Goku and Pan. That's really who it was about. I'm rewatching it now, and there's a lot of emphasis on Pan.
Well, Pan had a big role, but I'm saying her role was not as important as Vegeta's, because she couldn't do what Vegeta could do. So I feel like that's kind of weird in the sense that now Dragon Ball is basically going the same direction it did for GT. Goku and Vegeta are so much stronger than everybody else that everybody else is basically just fodder. Like, all they can do is basically just donate their power and energy towards supporting Goku and Vegeta at this point, and I just feel like they're probably going to get some time in the Resurrection FR to, you know, fight against, like, the minor soldiers or maybe some henchmen. But, I mean, I can't see them having a serious role in defeating a major villain unless they just donate their power like they've done before.
Yeah, right. Gohan's not going to take anybody out like he did Cell. That was a one-time thing. I hate to say it. And Piccolo's never really been the kind of guy. He's always kind of been that trainer guy. I mean, he was the head villain at the end of Dragon Ball. And then starting with Z, he trained Gohan, then he trained Goten and Trunks a little bit when they were taught him the fusion pose. So I mean, you know, it's just he's never really been, sorry Quan, man, but he's just never been like the top guy. He's always been support, but he's never been the top guy.
And now he's just the babysitter for Pan. It's crazy to see how characters fall. That was just for Kwame. The last question I have, I guess, for you both, and then also to the viewers, is who do you think? This is your time for the prediction, and then when this actually happens, we'll look back at this and see who was right. Who do you think is going to go into Universe 6? Because we know apparently they're traveling inside it to do whatever. Who do you think is going to go inside it? How about we start with Geekdom first?
Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, Whis, and Champa. And that's based, like I said, not just on the promotional material, but also the intro to the show. You and Toast did the video about it. When they're walking towards that portal, it's just those two. It's just those two.
Yep.
It's going to be about those two. I mean, I know people might be let down. Look, if you're a Gohan fan, you've had a rough time recently.
Real rough.
Right? At least be happy that he's going to have a kid and he's going to be a father because, well, everybody, you should already know that. Because, by the way, folks, in case you didn't know, yeah, Pan is in the manga. So she, quote-unquote, is canon. So get off of that shit. Like, did people not watch the last 3 episodes of Z, bro? Like, jeez. But anyways,
well, I think that stemmed from the fact in Battle of Gods that when Pan said him, I don't know his name.
She just didn't know
I missed that. I completely missed that. And apparently that was in both the dub and in Japanese. But
yeah, she just didn't know the sex. But it's Pan.
That's true.
We know that now, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, that's who I think.
Who do you think is going to go inside the Universe 6 portal or whatever they're walking through?
I have to say everybody that Danny Geekdom. Ah, damn it.
Everybody knows my name already, bro. Relax.
All right, everybody that Danny said, including the female attendant for Champa. He didn't mention her, but I'm pretty sure she's going to go too, and that's all I have to add. Unfortunately,
I really want to see her fight.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. It's definitely going to be them. But you know who else I would want to join just for comic relief, and because I want this character to have a little more airtime when he shows up? Jocko.
Yeah,
I would love to see Jocko to go in there just because, one, he's so weak, but he's so funny. And just imagine how hilarious it would be to see have him kind of go along with him in adventure. And I feel like because, you know, he's a space patroller and he's kind of supposed to watch over that quadrant and stuff, it would be technically his duty to go with them because they're kind of breaking probably a major law, you know, to do that. Yeah. So that'd be a fun thing to do.
Tights, too.
Yeah.
Tights? I don't know about tights, but I do agree with Jocko. Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess we pretty much said what we wanted to say, so now we want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about everything we covered here? How Goku and Vegeta will be the main focus? Who's your favorite character if they're not them two? And how you feel about your character possibly not having that much airtime or, I guess, importance? Let us know in the comment section below. But is there anything else you want to say before we end this?
Yes, before I close it out, Dino, as usual, I'd just like to tell Dino and everybody else who likes to troll me about Piccolo getting beaten by chopsticks, I have one argument that you cannot debate. Even if Beerus is a quadrillion times stronger than Piccolo, Piccolo was technically holding back because he had on his weather clothing. End of story.
Wait a minute. All right, hold on. Let me just bring this up. What would you prefer? Would you prefer that Piccolo never be seen again for the Universe 6 arc, or would you prefer that he lose the chopsticks? Which one bothers you more?
Well, I need to see him at least, so I'll at least... I'd rather see him get beaten by chopsticks, and I'll just omit that from memory.
Okay.
All right, folks, so I guess let us know your thoughts, and then Kwame, you know what to do. Go ahead and take us out like always.
Please, 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 remember to rate, comment, and to always subscribe.
Stealing my gimmick.
But as Geekdom always says with me, along with the legendary Rhymestyle, to always have a great day, guys.
The best part is always when you hear the people in the background, like me or Geekdom, how we respond to this. We'll see you guys next time.